What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran, but before we get started, I'd like to issue an apology and give an anecdote. The apology is to anyone I did not mention by name who's been commenting on the Duran Duran reactions I've done. I did the reaction to, what was it, The Seventh Stranger. And because it was Duran Duran Appreciation Day, I sort of, before I shot the video, I was like, you know, I really want to thank all the people who've been commenting and sort of informing me about the history of the band and giving me more context and appreciation for each of the songs. And then right before I went to shoot, I was like, man, I don't know if I should do that, because if I read off the names but then I don't mention a couple, it'll seem sort of, you know, rude, or like, you know, oh, you know, you omitted them, you left them out. So yeah, right before I shot, I was like, oh, I don't know if I should do it, but then I thought, no, it is Appreciation Day, I want to be appreciative, so I did it. But there were a few people I forgot, and most notably, one of the first people who started commenting on my Duran Duran reactions, along with Izzy World, was Johnny's Girl. And I do want to apologize to you. Like I said, you were there from the earliest time that I was commenting on tunes from this awesome band, so big apology to you, though, you know, as I said in the anecdote, I did realize right before I started that video that maybe I was walking myself into dangerous territory. So yeah, I guess I was right, but still, thank you to all of you, those I mentioned and those I failed to mention in that moment. In any case, let's get to it. This is Save a Prayer, the live version from their Arena album, originally 1984, though as I keep saying, I have a sort of reissue from 1999. If you watch my reaction to the studio version of this album, the studio version of this track from the Rio album, you'll know that I began the reaction by saying, oh, you know, the name doesn't ring a bell, I probably haven't heard this. And then the moment that sort of synth opening, that sort of expansive, floaty synth opening happened, it was like, wait, oh my god, I do know this. And then it started with that sort of lovely, sonorous, melodic line that has that wonderful little wrinkle. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I'm transported back nearly 40 years, like, my goodness. So yeah, I definitely know this tune from my youth, but now that I've come to appreciate their music more, I kind of have a sense of, you know, who's doing what, who's playing what instrument, and just, you know, sort of the place the band was at during that album, and now, as I come to understand it a couple years later, as they're doing this tour. So yeah, really enjoy the song. Let's get to it. This is Duran Duran, Save a Prayer, from the 1984 live album Arena.
You saw me standing by the corner of a main street, and the lights are flashing.
I love the way he started that line. Sort of like deep, breathy, like entrance to the line.
So you're looking for and you know just what it takes and where to go. Don't say a prayer for me now, save it till the morning after. No, don't say a prayer for me now, save it till the morning after.
Voice is just right there, like, I keep saying, you know, I do listen to some bands that are great, but maybe their live performance is like, compared to the studio version,
The breeze deep on the inside, look you down into your world. If you can, you'll see the world.
I love the sort of, like, vibrant electricity of that rolling synth melody. I called it floating, I called it rolling, somewhere in between.
Don't say a prayer for me now, sing it till the morning after. No, don't say a prayer for me now, sing it till
some extra elements in the live performances. I'm all sort of like keen to like anticipate or quickly detect any outside elements, but I think it's just a simple one, right? I heard some like piano-esque keys. I do love that like soulful guitar riff. You know, it's sort of plodding along with it, and it gets to that moment, it's like the floaty character of the track comes back, aided by the changed percussive rhythm. Like as high as it's been. So high. I love it. It's funny though, like the synth layer's way up in the stratosphere and it's like floaty in parts, but like lyrics, like there was that line like, I asked you to dance but there's fear in your soul. Is that what the line was? It's one of those like contrasts where like, even like in that, just this moment, you can feel it like pulling you both ways, like up and down. Wicked. That's awesome. I'll have to go back and check my reaction or just play one of the CDs, but I'm trying to remember if the album version, which would be, I don't know if is Save a Prayer one of the ones that was the same on both albums. I do forget in the moment, but yeah, you know, I listened to it on my US vinyl, and I'm trying to remember if the end of Save a Prayer there had that sort of kind of like wicked tension-filled ending. I want to say it ended more like naturally, like sonorously. And perhaps here, you know, they introduced a bit more tension, but maybe I'm just remembering that wrong. Either way, I love that. Let me know what you think. I'm going through this album Arena pretty quickly just because it's cool to, you know, hear an album of their live performances for the first time. I'm sure they have maybe one or two others. You know, a 40-year career, it feels like this probably isn't their only live album. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and obviously it's from an era when, you know, these are songs that I actually, at least some of them, would have heard as a kid, did hear as a kid. Indeed, there's Hungry Like the Wolf on here, perhaps that's the one I'll do next. But yeah, there's a few others, Wild Boys I still haven't done, Union of the Snake, Planet Earth. So yeah, there's a few left to do. Let me know which one of those you might particularly like to hear. Other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.